time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out.
Welcome to Unfazed with myself, JJ, and my boy AJ. We are here right after the Super Wildcard weekend, and I'm super excited about this show today. We got to do a recap on the Super Wildcard weekend. We're going to talk about some of the important topics from last weekend, and we're going to do a little preview on the upcoming games for the divisional rounds. But I'm feeling good, AJ. We got a dub. Y'all got a dub. How you feeling, my guy?
You know, for the people who don't know, it's some stuff we planned before the show and some stuff we have no idea about. And I just want to let y'all know, I had no idea this man was going to pop on here with the bandage on. I don't even know if you had it on before. I didn't peep it. But as soon as I looked up, this man got this bandage on like he really Nelly or Jaden Daniels from the Commanders game. I think that's... Bro, that's hilarious. I just want to say that. I just gotta point that out, bro. That's. I love that creativity, bro. I had to point that out. But I'm feeling great, man. Birds got it. Birds got the dub. And contrary to belief, Joe, that's really all that matters in the playoffs is winning and moving on to the next round, trying to get through the game as healthy as possible and moving on to the next round. So, as an Eagles fan, I'm feeling great, man. It's on to the next. It's on to the next. But I see again, you with the bandage, you got to be feeling good. You got to be feeling good. I'm sure.
Hey, you know, I know you're a QB. If he was a running back, a wide receiver, a linebacker, they would never show the replay. You know what I mean? But he got a little cut on his cheek. Pause. And got the job done. That's all I gotta say. But let's get right to the show, man. We got a lot to talk about, AJ. A lot to talk about. And the first thing we're going to talk about, you over there in Minnesota, you in the Midwest, you know what's going on. You feel the temperature. And 2-game losing streak. I don't know if people know this. In the regular season, the Vikings, they got their first loss against the Lions. And then in the following week, they lost to the Rams. Once again, they lost to the Lions. And then the following week, they lose to the Rams. They get eliminated by the Rams. And it's a lot of decision making now going on, AJ. Should the Vikings keep Sam Darnold and sign him because he's a free agent, or should they just roll with their rookie, JJ McCarthy?
You know, Joe, I think today we're going to have some very interesting conversations. Because there's the number side of it, right? I mean, he had his best statistical season. He threw for, 4,319 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, had a 102.5 quarterback rating on the season. And then when it mattered most, we found out he got no it factor whatsoever. So it just depends on what we want nowadays. There's a crowd of people who just love them some numbers. They love the numbers. Numbers this, numbers that, numbers. Look at the yards, look at the touchdowns, but no it factor. There is no it factor there. They just put up great numbers. But when you need the most, they are nowhere to be found. And then there are some quarterbacks who don't give you the wow, eye-popping numbers, but when you need them, they give you them big-time moments and come through for you and get dubs. Then there's those quarterbacks that do it all. They got the it factor and they give you the numbers. You got the Patrick Mahomes. You got the Lamar Jacksons. Like, you got guys that just give you everything you're looking for, right? But those are very few and far between. Sam Darnold is one of those guys that now we see clear as day what he is. He's going to have some really good games, especially with this team. Don't tell me he ain't got weapons to throw the football to, from Justin Jefferson to Addison to TJ Hockenson. He's in a solid running game with a very good offensive coach, one of the best offensive coaches in football right now, right? He's got weapons, so he's going to have great games. He's going to have great moments. But when you need him to deliver back-to-back weeks, the Lions game, as you know, Joe, I kind of gave him a pass. It's Detroit. They are 15-2. They have looked like the best team in the NFC for a vast majority of the season. Of course, I'll argue Philly, but just to not talk about them right now, Detroit has been that team. They are the number one seed. So, okay, Sam, we're going to give you this pass. But the Rams is not a team you should be struggling like this against. The Rams defense isn't amazing. They got a really good defensive front, don't get me wrong, but their secondary is not amazing. Their offense is not the greatest either. You just can't go out there and screw this game up. And he went out there and played. Sam Darnold had one of the eye test-wise. The numbers aren't terrible. Eye test-wise, Sam Darnold had one of the worst playoff performances I have ever seen. Just not getting rid of the ball, bro. Just taking sack after sack. Just sitting back there in the pocket. I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what he's looking at, bro. One thing that made me laugh, I can't help but bring this up. You know, I'm out here and I hear the Minnesota announcers, the radio guys talk through the game. And the guy is on the microphone like, you know, Sam Darnold, he drops back. He's in the pocket. He steps up. Throw it away. Just throw the ball. Oh, he takes another sack, like losing his mind. And that's not something you normally hear, but it's like everybody in the world was thinking the same thing. Yo, what is going, even KOC, what is this guy doing out there? I really feel like he single-handedly sold that game. So to answer the question directly, it depends on, and this is oddly enough, I'm going to answer a few questions today. Depends on what you're looking for. Depends on what you're looking for. If you want numbers, go with Sam Darnold. He showed you what he is. He's not a guy who's going to win you a Super Bowl. He's probably not a guy who's going to take you on a playoff run, no matter the talent, because the Vikings have the talent right now to go on the run with the right quarterback. They just do. They just do. They won 14 games this year, right? Do you want the numbers or do you want the possibility? Because we don't know if JJ has it factor yet either. But do you want the possibility of it factor? Or hypothetically speaking, maybe he gives you both. Depends on what you want. If I'm the Vikings, I want it factor. So I'm letting Sam Darnold walk, and I'm giving JJ McCarthy an opportunity to ball out next season.
I agree. I think about 2 weeks ago on the Artois show, I said that even if Sam Darnold beat the Lions, even if Sam Darnold beat not win the Super Bowl, but if he beat the Lions and get that number one seed, I'm gonna still roll with JJ McCarthy because we've seen 2 seasons back to back that 2 quarterbacks had some of their best seasons. Well, you know, Kirk Cousins a season and a half had some of their best seasons with this coach, Kevin O'Connell. We all know that he's a quarterback encourager. He makes the quarterback feel important. He instills confidence into his quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins had a great year. They won what, 13 games, AJ, in the regular season? 13 games, but do Kirk Cousins, like you said, have the it factor? He don't. He just don't, right? And then Sam Darnold, same situation. He comes in here being an outcast in the NFL, and then he has a career year. And everybody's like, whoa. I heard people comparing him to Kurt Warner when Kurt Warner stepped in and won the Super Bowl, which is rightfully so, because he was playing very good. But in the bright lights, when it was time for him to rise above the play calling, rise above that and be an X factor, be the guy that's going to get them home, be that superstar, he wasn't there. The Lions game, it wasn't like opportunities were there, AJ. He was literally seeing ghosts. That's the running theme about him, right? He sees ghosts. And his head is on a swivel. He panics. He's in panic mode. What I felt like he did against the Rams, I feel like it was a mixture of panic and a mixture of, I got to make a play. I got to redeem myself from that Detroit game, right? So that's why he took a lot of sacks, in my opinion, because he put his team in all bad positions where it was second and short, or not second and short, second and medium, and then he would take a sack, and then now it's third and long. Or it was third and medium, and then you take a sack, and it's fourth and long when you would have went for it if it was third and short, third and medium. So he kept taking these negative plays. And, you know, like you say, you look at the numbers, you didn't watch the game, you would say, okay, Sam Darnold, he was pretty all right. You know what I mean? What? 245 yards, right? I mean, he wasn't pretty all right, but he had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But he wasn't good. You know, so the Rams defense, they did a great job pressuring him. Gerard Kurtz, he did a great job that game. I'm moving with JJ McCarthy. I know it was a preseason. I even said this in the preseason when it happened. I'm like, yo, I'm not big on preseason numbers, but he did look pretty okay in the preseason. So did Bo Nix. Bo Nix looked pretty good in the preseason, and look how it turned out in the regular NFL season. So if I'm now, and JJ McCarthy, lastly, he actually won. He actually won in college. You know what I mean? He won a national championship. You know, so I would go with JJ McCarthy because I trust the head coach. You know, the reason why. So, and not pay Sam Darnold, what, $40 million a year, $30+ million a year? No, stick with the rookie and then build around the rookie.
I'm not going to lie. The only pushback I have for you, was your mic still on just now? I was hearing echo. My bad. The only pushback I have is if he went out there and beat Detroit for the number 1 seed and he got you to the NFC Championship game, and he's not the reason why you lose, I'm thinking about it at that point. I'm not gonna lie, because he did have a really good regular season. I think everybody. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody. I think me myself. I was waiting on this type of moment from Sam Darnold. I was waiting on him to show me that he's not what he was. The regular season is cool. He's had great moments. He's delivered. He's played great. Don't get me wrong. He's come up clutch during the regular season at times. But there's nothing like, playoff games. Like you said last week, that Lions game, last game of the season, was pretty much a playoff game. And then we saw you in an actual playoff game. If he performed in those 2 games, and let's just say Justin Jefferson dropped a ball at the end in the NFC Championship game, then it's like, at that point, you're kind of taking a risk in a rookie who you don't know about just yet, opposed to Sam Darnold, who just showed you in this system with KOC, he can perform. But these 2 games showed you everything you need to know. It told you everything you need to know to say, nah, bruh. Like, if we want to win it, you could be competitive with Sam Darnold. You could be competitive, just like some other quarterbacks I'm not going to forget to mention today. You could be competitive with some guys, but if the goal is to win the Super Bowl, if the goal is to have that Lombardi, Sam can't be the guy. And we don't know if JJ can be the guy either. But it's a chance you got to at least take. You drafted him in the top 10?
Yeah.
It's a chance you got to take at this point. But the only reason why, like I said, only bit of pushback I have is because, as an Eagles fan, we was in a similar situation where Carson Wentz was, and granted, 2 quarterbacks that we got to see. We didn't really get to see JJ McCarthy, but Carson Wentz was balling for a period of time, right? Nick Foles comes in there and he wins big. And it's like, all right, do we let Nick Foles walk? Or do we, we roll with Carson, or we want to keep Nick Foles? And we decided to keep Carson, and Carson really wasn't himself no more. And Nick Foles came in there and almost wins you a few more playoff games. So it's like, if Sam shows you that, it's hard for me, to be like, move on from Sam. Because then what happens if you move on from Sam and JJ is a bust? Then you like, we should have kept Sam.
You're right. But here's the difference is they drafted JJ this year. They literally drafted him. And if they pay him, then that's less money you have to build around the team you already have. If you don't, when you keep JJ, you save a whole bunch of money and you can continue to build around JJ. That's why I say I want to stick with Sam Darnold. I don't think if Sam would have stayed, they were going to be better than what they were this year. I don't believe that. What I mean? So that's why I'm going with JJ. But I get your point, though. I get your point.
I ain't mad at it. Joe, we got to switch topics, man. The Steelers, another tough ending to their season, bro. They fall short of making it out of the wild card round. They lose to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, both of us expected this. Both of us kind of saw this coming, right? But given the recent history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, given the recent history of Mike Tomlin, some are questioning at this point, should the Steelers move on from him? I know I have my opinion at this point. But I want to pitch it to you first because I want to hear what you got to say about it first. Joe, do you think the Steelers should move on from Mike Tomlin?
Okay. In my opinion, I think the question shouldn't be, should the Steelers move from Mike Tomlin? I think it's the other way around. I think Mike Tomlin should leave the Steelers. All right? Because here's the thing. I get it. It's been a lot of turnover. Different GMs, different coordinators, different quarterbacks. But Mike Tomlin has been the same voice, and it's been the same result. But like sometimes people become mute, become deaf to your tone. Like they hear your voice. You say like I have kids, right? Well, it hasn't happened to me yet, but my kids are young. But I know me growing up, your mom and dad, like somebody will tell you something, hey, something. Then you go out on the street and the same person, the same exact thing, and it clicks. You listen, because you become deaf to the same ear, to the same voice. And that's probably what's going on with Pittsburgh. And also, you have familiarity with this with Andy Reid. Andy Reid was with Philly and 5 conference championships
somewhere
games,
around in there. Yeah.
right? And one, he actually went to the Super Bowl and lost. Andy Reid was very successful. And listen, Donovan McNabb, I never was a hater of him, but he wasn't like, what I mean, I feel like he was, I'm not gonna respect Donovan McNabb, but he wasn't like a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Peyton Manning or, what I mean, he wasn't a Drew Brees, nothing like that. But Andy's system, what Andy did with those players, he got those guys to the conference championship every year, successful seasons, winning the division, all that stuff, right? And then y'all never kicked in the door, and this is y'all getting there. Mike Tomlin haven't won a wild card game since 2016. That's crazy. Lost to Lamar, I get it. It's Lamar Jackson. Lost to Mahomes, I get it. It's Mahomes. Lost to Josh Allen, I get it. It's Josh Allen. But what about Baker Mayfield? What about Blake Bortles? You know what I mean? So what's the excuse for that? So there has to be sometimes there's a new scenery is better for both sides. It is. Y'all let go Andy Reid, and what happened? Y'all finally win a Super Bowl. Y'all win a Super Bowl, and what Andy Reid does, win 3. So it worked out. And then not only y'all win a Super Bowl, y'all got rid of that coach and then promoted another one, and y'all still are relevant. See, the only thing is y'all promoted somebody in-house. Who is in-house over there in Pittsburgh that I think that can just take over and take them to the next level? I don't know the answer to that. Yeah. That's my only thing about me. But if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm having considerations like, you know what? Maybe it's probably, I know Pittsburgh is a prestigious organization. I know that it's only been like 4 head coaches in their whole franchise history. I understand all that. That Mike Tomlin understands the job he has. I remember they was talking about him going to college coaching. And he's like, man, I got probably the best job in the NFL. Y'all think I'm going to leave to go to college? I understand that. But sometimes a new scenery is better for both parties. And I still believe if Mike Tomlin were to become a free agent, he would be the number one. I'm talking about this year, next year, the year after that, he would be the number one prospect for somebody to grab him because he's a coach. He would change the culture. He's a leader of men. So I do think it's time, AJ. I really do. I think it's time.
I like how you rephrase that. I like how you rephrase that question because I couldn't agree with you more. But I'm gonna answer it how it is.
Okay.
Should the Steelers move on from Mike Tomlin? Joe, it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what you're looking for. Do the Steelers want to win the Super Bowl right now? I would assume so. Do the Steelers want to be a team that makes long playoff runs? I would assume so. On the other hand, you can make the assumption because he's still there after 6 straight wild card losses, that they are okay with being mediocre. That's if I want to win the Super Bowl, if I'm the Steelers, I'm at this point moving off of Mike Tomlin because exactly what you said. I feel like maybe they're not deaf to his message, but they need fresh perspective. They need fresh ideas. I believe on both sides of the ball, especially offensively. It's only been so many offensive coordinators you can run through before it's like, all right, let's just get a new head coach. Maybe let's just get an offensive-minded head coach. And then the way the defense plays down the stretch, I know they have had a lot of injuries, a lot of unfortunate things happen, but the defense is leaky down the stretch as well. It's like, and this is my thing too, Joe. I assume Mike Tomlin has a lot of power within the organization, but I don't really. That's why I asked, Vaughn, shout out to Vaughn, big Steelers fan. So I asked him in the past, how much control does he really have over personnel decisions? Does he have control over what quarterback they bring in? Not the quarterback that they start, but the quarterback that they draft, the quarterback that they bring in. It's one thing to have a say. It's another thing to control it. Like Bill Belichick at one point was controlling things. Chip Kelly at one point was controlling things. If he's controlling this, he definitely got to go. Because Big Ben, Big Ben ain't there no more. It ain't even Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell no more. Santonio Holmes, he not there no more. Hines Ward, like them days are over with. And ever since those days, he has failed to find a quarterback that could come in and get it done. He has failed to put a formula together to come in and get it done. You look at the records since 2017. Joe, you got one 12-win season here. And in that 12-win season, they lost in the first round to Baker Mayfield. Since, again, 2017, Joe. If this was any other coach in the NFL, they'd be gone. And that's just the truth. If it was just about any other coach in the NFL, they'd be gone. He's still there because of his championship resume before this stretch. Because, like you said, he is a leader of men. But it has gotten to a point where it doesn't seem like you can win with him if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, to your point, Mike Tomlin, maybe he does move on to another team and win. I think he can. I still believe in Mike Tomlin, but I don't believe in him here with the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore. I just don't see it. We have seen enough, and we have seen a couple of collapses on his watch. This season was a collapse. I don't care how anyone phrases it. You lost 5 straight games when you started out 10-3. The Steelers went from being a true threat in the AFC, a threat to win their division and potentially make a run to the 6th seed and a wild card exit. Like that. And it ain't all because of George Pickens and his injury or when he came back, him dropping passes. So I think if I'm Pittsburgh, bro, I think it's time. I know it's hard to do. It's hard to move on from a legendary coach. I know everybody's not going to agree on the decision, but at some point, Joe, you got to turn the page. And that's not only for the Steelers organization, it's for Steelers fans too. I know quite a few Steelers fans. No, just hold on to Mike Tomlin. For what is he doing for you? What is this fun for you right now? We got 9-6, 8-8, then the 12-4 season when you went home. Then you got 9-7, 9-8, 10-7, and 10-7. Does that sound like fun, bro?
No.
It sounds like a tease to me.
Sound like Jason Garrett.
I mean, that's to me, especially if I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan that's seen a couple championships. Yeah. I'm tired of this by now. I'm sick of this by now. So yes, I think it's time to move on. Where to go? I'm not quite sure yet. I'd have to come back to that. But Mike Tomlin, I'd have to move on from. And even if it gets worse next year, you're in a rebuilding phase. It's how I would view it. You're in it. You got to be okay with rebuilding. You got to be okay with rebuilding. So that's what I would do.
And here's the thing. The main thing people say is the quarterback, right? But you have to prepare as a head coach. The head coach has some say-so on something that's going on, especially Mike Tomlin. I'm sure Mike Tomlin has some say-so on what kind of players come in there. AJ, I think of guys like Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts. Guys that were drafted late in the draft. I'm talking about late first round or post first round, like Mr. Irrelevant, and became starting QBs for winning organizations. So there's no really excuse for real. You know what I mean? Like you can find somebody if you plan it. Like the Chiefs, they had Alex Smith, but Andy Reid, like Alex Smith is not gonna get us to the next level. Let's go get Mahomes. They traded up. They got Mahomes, and it's history. Yeah, Jalen Hurts was sitting there. I think it was last pick of the first round. Last pick of the first round.
Second round. It was like top pick of the second round.
For us. And Lamar was the last pick of the first round. And both of y'all had quarterbacks. They had Joe Flacco, Super Bowl winning quarterback, who had just signed a contract not too long ago. And y'all had Carson Wentz, right?
Yes, we did. And we had just re-signed Carson Wentz. So a big contract.
Y'all didn't win yet. Y'all had one, right? Already.
We had one, yep.
Y'all had one. Yeah, just won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Like you said, y'all in the quarterback dilemma, but yet you still draft Hurts because you're preparing for the future. You know, so I don't see that with the Steelers. You know what I mean? Like, who are they drafted? When they drafted Kenny Pickett, it was kind of like, okay, they needed a quarterback and they drafted the best quarterback available. That was a Will Levis and Kenny Pickett draft. But outside of that, you don't really see them drafting a QB. He ain't gonna start right now, but he's gonna be the future, right? Because they're 8-8 every year, so they're gonna have to do that. So they got to part ways, bro. They got to. I know Vaughn mentioned to me on the side. He said Mike Tomlin needs a young-minded offensive coordinator. That's what Vaughn said. No, that might work because we haven't seen that. You know what I mean? But will that happen? Like, are they going to do that this year?
This is the problem, though. How long is the young-minded offensive coordinator going to stay an offensive coordinator before they become a head coach?
That's true.
So you're going to have a young-minded offensive coordinator that's there for 1, maybe 2 years, maybe, if he decides to stay where he's at, if you're winning. Because we all know these teams, they will, as soon as they see you winning, they coming for your coaching staff. They look at, oh, let's get him, let's make him a head coach. And so at some point, why don't you just make the young offensive coordinator your head coach? But because you're not winning with your head coach right now. And I do want to address this comment that Kev said, because it kind of speaks to what I've said before. And I've said this to Vikings fans before they moved on for Kirk Cousins. He said, if the Steelers move on from him, they'll be the next Browns in the division. It gets to a point, Joe. I'd rather be the Browns for a little bit. I'd rather be the Browns. If I want to win a championship, bro, I don't like being mediocre the same way I don't like being bad. Which one sets me best up to be to get back to that level? A restart. They are not, I don't view them as just a couple pieces away from a championship. They need to rebuild, in my opinion. Like, they need to rebuild. They need to go into that phase, because right now, keeping him is going to keep you mediocre, second or third place in the division. So if you're third place, bro, say Joe Burrow and the Bengals improve this offseason and they're the second seed, right? Okay, so instead of being the 4th seed, you're the 3rd in the division. I'd rather just be the 4th, bro. like I'd rather just rebuild and start over, in my opinion.
This is gonna sound crazy with the right leadership, because it's all about leadership. And the Steelers have good leadership. I mean, they are a franchise with great leadership. Browns don't. So let's not compare them to the Browns. Maybe they record for 1 year, but if the Browns and the Steelers had the same leadership, the Browns are in a better position than the Steelers are. To be honest with you, they got a higher draft pick. They got talent over there. It's just the fact that the leadership sucks. Like, the leadership and their quarterback is they sticking with a quarterback that the leadership paid. But like I said, I'd rather be with the number 2 pick in the draft than getting bounced in the wild card and next year, get my boy JD5. And
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying tank, but I'm just saying sometimes it's beneficial to be bad for a year. Sometimes it's beneficial to be bad, go get you a true bona fide franchise quarterback, and then you good. But when you stay in this 10 and 7, 9 and 8, you don't get good draft picks, or you don't get it's not even that you don't get good draft picks, because like you said, you could take a quarterback, later, like, Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts and still be successful. But like, it's hard. It's that too. But it's also hard to find those. You got to really be a great evaluator of talent at that position. He can evaluate receivers all day when it comes to talent and draft them as late as whatever and still get just diamonds out of it. But when it comes to quarterbacks, like, I feel like they need to go get the number 1 or number 2 overall pick. Get like a almost basically guaranteed solid franchise quarterback that okay, 9 times out of 10, he's going to at least be decent to start, and he's got potential to be this, and build around that, bro. Opposed to what they're doing right now.
They got Justin
Fields. Or you said what?
They got Justin Fields, so I mean, I don't know how. They should have traded up for Penix.
Oh yes, that and I love Penix. I think that'd have been great for him. I'm not that not to steal Von's words. I'm not that high on Justin Fields, man. Like, I'm not that high on him, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't think he's the guy that's gonna get it done for you either, bro. Not in that division. You're not gonna beat the Ravens in the playoffs, or the Ravens wouldn't matter, or even I believe the Bengals, if they're really at the top of their game with Justin Fields, bro. I don't see it. And I think Lamar at this point is over this. All right, when I play Pittsburgh, I play a certain way. I ain't gonna lie, Joe. I think that might be dead.
It's dead now.
Like, I think it's dead, bro.
Yeah, it's dead. It's definitely dead. But let's talk about a team that was dead in Lincoln Financial Field. I mean, dead bodies everywhere. People getting injured left and right. The Green Bay Packers, they lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles beat them 22-10. AJ said, if you must be crazy. You think somebody gonna roll up in the link and beat us. But there are some red flags flying everywhere. You know, anywhere you go about this game, first thing people talk about is offense. The offense was stagnant. The offense this, the offense that, especially in the passing game. That's what they really talking about because Saquon did his thing. So, AJ.
It took him a little bit, though. But.
Yeah, you know, they're a little slide, you know. But, AJ, should the Eagles fans be concerned with the offense?
Joe, let me ask you a question.
Okay. Oh, man.
Did your boy look concerned, man?
No.
I mean, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. The first thing I want to say is this, Joe, with my flag on and my Hurt Season shirt on. First thing I want to say is this. Like I said to start the show, in the playoffs, it don't matter how close the game is. It don't matter if you barely beat a team. It's the playoffs. You win and you move on to the next round. That offense could look great. They could have played amazing against the Packers and then turn around and play bad against the Rams. And then what are we going to say? Dang, the offense didn't show up against the Rams. No, at the end of the day, them points don't carry over. Momentum sometimes do, for sure. Momentum does, but points and things of that nature do not carry over into the next game. Every game is different in the postseason. Sometimes you play at home. Sometimes you play on the road. Sometimes you create turnovers. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you play great. Sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, it's about getting wins, right? So often I hear this question posed about Philadelphia and their offense. I hear this all the time. We know the Eagles defense is great. We know the Eagles defense is great. They, you know, We know Saquon is We know right? But if they get into a situation where they have to be in a shootout against quarterbacks, that can really put up points, can they match them? And I'm just looking like, when we played the Packers in week 1, did we not drop 34 when we needed to score 34 points? Interesting. When we played Stafford, the guy we about to play next round, right? Everybody said there's going to be a shootout. He's going to score. Did we not score 37 points? Everybody said before we played Joe Burrow, hey, it's Joe Burrow. In the game before, Jalen Hurts didn't look so hot. He's going to have to do more because the game before we was handing the ball off to Saquon and he went crazy. Jalen Hurts going to have to throw the ball this game. What did I see? What was it? 3-4 total touchdowns out of Jalen Hurts in that game? 230, 250 passing yards out of Jalen Hurts in that game? Did they not drop 37 points in that football game? I heard something earlier this week and it stuck with me and I posted it on Twitter. Shout out to Teddy Bruschi. It's the best take I've heard all week. And it's what I have said about Philadelphia and, most importantly, Jalen Hurts all season long. They know how to play the game within the game. Whatever is required for that game is what's going to happen. If the defense don't show up, best believe Jalen Hurts in that offense will be there. If the offense is not there, best believe that defense is going to strap down and hold you to a point total that the offense can match. And that's been Philadelphia Eagle play all year. I will say this. If there is one thing I can be critical about when it comes to Jalen Hurts, I heard Acho say this earlier, and I'm addressing some things that you didn't say, Joe, just media guys said, because I just really wanted to address some of this stuff. You know, LaShawn McCoy went off and was saying how bad Jalen Hurts looked, and we blow them out by 40 if da-da-da-da-da happens, and this, that, and the third happens. And Acho was like, I'm getting to the point where I just believe Jalen Hurts, like Teddy Bruschi said, knows how to play the game within the game. If my defense is showing out, I don't have to be Superman. I don't have to go crazy. I could be, what was the guy, because Kev put this in the comments. I want to pull this back up. I can be Trent Dilfer is what he said. I can be Brad Johnson because the defense is doing their job. Blake Bortles, right. They're doing their job, so I don't need to, I don't have to do much. And Shady's response is, well, what if everybody on the team had the same type of mindset? So everybody else is doing their job, but you don't have to do your job? And I thought about it, and I'm like, Shady, I don't think that's the point. I think when you look around the NFL, You see guys in the playoffs smoke games when the rest of the team is playing well. I thought the Minnesota Vikings defense, outside of the first drive of the game, played well against the Rams. Why did they lose that game? Because Sam Darnold played horrible. I thought the Green Bay Packers defense played well against the Philadelphia Eagles. What's the biggest reason why they lost? Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions. I thought the Chargers as a team played well. But why they lose that game? Because Herbert played terrible, right? Jalen Hurts is looking like, look, we got a team this year. I was Superman Force in 2021. I was Superman Force in 2022. In 2023, the defense didn't show up. I had to do more, nonstop, multiple comeback victories. This year, we got Saquon. I'm going to just hand the ball off. I ain't got to do too much. This year, the defense is balling. How about I just game manage and get us through this game? If I go out here trying to force it and I turn the ball over and I sway momentum in this game, maybe we won't be able to get it back. But best believe, if they don't show up and it's time for my boy and the overall offense to put that cape on, it is there. It's been there all along, but it's just about playing the game within the game. There are times where I'm like, all right, bruh, I wish you press the gas a little bit sooner. We don't have to coast right now. And there are times where he just doesn't have a great game, just period. And there's no excuse for it. But I'll often say, as soon as the other team come out and make it close, score a touchdown, get a field goal, here comes Jalen Hurts in the offense with some type of long drive touchdown, long drive field goal. And that's exactly what happened in this Green Bay Packers game. So if I'm an Eagles fan that has watched this offense drop numbers all season long, whether it be Hurts having a day, whether it be Saquon having a day, right? And I've watched this defense play lights out all season long, I have no concerns. And for the people, and I'll pitch it to you, Joe, for the people who always ask the question, what happens if the Eagles are in the shootout? I have a question for you. What happens if they're not? This defense is the best defense in the National Football League. This defense is the best defense in the National Football League. One more time, in case the people that are watching did not hear me. This defense is number 1 overall. They creating turnovers. What's that? 14 turnovers, 13 turnovers in the last 4 weeks, Joe? This defense is the best in the NFL. There's no guarantee that Matthew Stafford is going to push you in a shootout. He might only score 20 points. There's no guarantee if you see Detroit or if you see the Commanders, there's no guarantee that that defense don't keep you under 20 points. There's no guarantee if you make it to the Super Bowl. I don't care who you see. There is no guarantee. Patrick Mahomes out. We're going to leave Pat alone. We already got experience with Pat, right? Outside of Pat, there's no guarantee that anyone else is going to have this amazing offensive game. So let's stop making the assumptions and let's understand what the Eagles do. They play the game within the game. The objective is to win and move on to the next week. We'll see about the Rams soon, man. We'll see about the Rams soon.
No, look.
I like how you come on calm too.
I like the flag.
Thank
Usually,
you.
my guy AJ, he's very critical on his Eagles. You know, he's a lot. You know, honest. Which I'm saying, you're not honest. That's not the word. He's very, you know, critical. That's the word. He's critical. If there's something that's not going right, he will let you know. AJ. Now look. If you're going to say I'm not concerned because I know the defense is going to show up every game, then yeah, that makes sense. But if you're not a little concerned about the offense, which you told me, you poo-poo on the Packers defense. You said they didn't have the number 1 cornerback. But they look like a legit elite defense against y'all that Sunday. And I don't know if people know this because it's a narrative about Jalen Hurts. All right? Now, the Texans game, the Texans and the Chargers game, who, you know, I know you happy about that, what happened to Justin Herbert. That game showed us there's a difference between the regular season and the postseason. Because going into the postseason, we all would have said, oh, Justin Herbert had a better year than C.J. Stroud. But now we go back and rank these QBs. We're going to put Stroud ahead of him because what Stroud did in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
What's Hurts' playoff resume? He don't have one. The only time Hurts won a playoff game, AJ, is when he had a number one defense and when his team didn't allow more than 10 points. That's the only time he won a playoff game. When his team allowed more than 10 points, he lost every time. Now, I know you said Hurts would give me what I need. Not every time, AJ. We gotta stop saying that because the first year against the Super Bowl champions, Super Bowl champions, he didn't give you what you need. Last year, the defense didn't show up. He did not give you what you need. He gave you a lot against Kansas City, but he didn't do enough, like y'all say, because y'all want to throw away the stats. Don't look at the stats. He does what's required. Did he do what's required in the Super Bowl? He did not, because he fumbled and gave up 7 points. So if I'm a Philly fan, I'm a tad bit concerned because Hurts is fresh off of a 3-week bye. Think about that. 3-week bye. He don't have a lot of rest under his belt. He's fresh off of a concussion, right? Now, we can say he's good, but the concussion protocol he was in was extended. And then a hit I showed y'all in the chat, he real life looked like he was concussed. I mean, he came out so slow. His hand looked a little two-ish. And I'm like, this dude look concussed. Maybe he's good. But if I'm a Philly fan, I'm like, yo, Hurts, you better not mess this up. This is like how I'm thinking. Hurts, we got the number one running back in the league. First of all, we got a top 5 coach. Let the Eagles tell it. Top 5 coach, the number 1 GM, the number 1 offensive line, because it ain't Detroit, right? The number 1 defense, the number 1 running back, 2,000-yard running back. We probably got the best duo receivers in the league. One is AJ Brown, and one is a Heisman Trophy winner. How many receivers has done that? Hurts, you better not mess this up. Because what I saw Sunday, I mean, it is concerning. You should be a tad bit concerned, AJ. To say, like, I'm not concerned, not worried, it's because your defense. And if you're talking about, yeah, we played the Rams a long time ago, and we beat them 37 whatever, I mean, it's a whole different game in the playoffs. You know, it's a different game. You know, Matthew Stafford, which, you know, we're going to talk about the game. He's a seasoned vet. He is a Super Bowl champion. Sean McVay is a really good coach. You know, so I would be a slight bit concerned with the offense. Are we asking you, are you concerned about the Eagles? No. We're asking you, are you concerned about the offense? And yes, you should be concerned.
This season, the only game I can say, oh my gosh, the offense played horrible, was the game that we lost to Tampa Bay. You remember who was playing in that game?
No, AJ.
Because I remember AJ Brown wasn't playing.
No,
I remember Devontae Smith wasn't playing, and Lane Johnson wasn't playing. Outside of that, anytime we've needed the offense to perform, have they not performed?
In the regular season?
In the regular season this year. Every single time we've needed this offense to step up and perform, they have performed. So am I going to look at this game against Green Bay and say, oh my gosh, I'm concerned because they didn't drop 30 on Green Bay and blow Green Bay out, when I've seen all season long their ability to drop 26 to 30 points or more at will whenever they needed to? No, there's no reason to be concerned. When you look at this game, now granted, everybody's going to criticize Jalen Hurts. And I'll be the first one to say, I don't think Jalen Hurts played well. I think he did the bare minimum. He did not smoke the game like we saw multiple other quarterbacks smoke the game.
He didn't turn the ball over.
Right, he didn't smoke the game like we saw multiple other quarterbacks smoke the games. But I also want to say we can't sweep Kellen Moore under the rug if we talking about offense. Dan Orlovsky broke this down. He showed the all 22s. I saw the all 22s. Green Bay saw what was coming, it seemed like, more times than not. When you look at the all 22s, I see there are times like when they played the Panthers, we looking at the all 22s, I'm like, Hurts, bro, this guy's open. And I came on the show and I said that this guy's open, Jay. What's going on? You got to let go of the ball. And when I was watching the game against Green Bay, I had the same thought, like, bro, I know guys is open. Like, what's going on? But then you look at all 22s and you like, yo, hold on. Nobody's open. Like, nobody's open. So now I see why he's holding on to the ball. So can I say I'm a little concerned about Kellen Moore? Maybe. But at the end of the day, in totality, what I've seen out of Jalen Hurts, what I've seen Saquon Barkley do this season, what I know AJ Brown and Devontae can do, I don't think there's any reason to be concerned with what I know this offense can do. Again, it's about the it factor, bro. When they got to show up, them boys show up. And I think they have shown me more times than not. If we just talking this season, they have shown me more times than not I can trust them. I can trust that offense to show up and do what it needs to do when it needs to do it. Now, you always bring up Jalen Hurts' playoff resume. What has he done in the playoffs and this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da-da. I want to say this. We can't just gloss over the wins and highlight the losses. Like the losses were decks were stacked against Jalen Hurts. Because that's the case. In 2021, the Eagles were a 7-seeded team. He was banged up in that game. His second option was Jalen Reagor. He was throwing to a rookie, Devontae Smith, going up against the reigning, defending Super Bowl champion Buccaneers with Tom Brady. Nobody thought we was going to win that game. Nobody in their right mind felt like going to that game with Jalen Hurts banged up against that team who just won the Super Bowl, they was going to win that game. If you go back to the Buccaneers loss most famously last year, did I expect him to play a little bit better? Yes, I did. At the same time, the way that defense performed throughout the game, I know they had moments where they showed up, but throughout the game, the missed tackles, the missed assignments, Mike Evans getting whatever he wanted on that side of the football, Jalen Hurts again coming into that game banged up with no A.J. Brown, tough to overcome, especially on the road. When I look at the games that he's lost in his career, I can't just gloss over the wins and say he didn't have to do a ton in these wins. He at the very least had to manage them to a win. And the reason why we have to bring that up is because we've seen quarterbacks just this week. All you got to do is manage the game, Sam Darnold. And he smoked it. Playoff L. All you got to do is manage this game. Jordan Love, and he smoked it. All you got to do is play a tick better. Herbert, you done thrown 4 picks, and he smoked it. So there is something to be said for understanding the assignment in the moment. This assignment calls for me to just be smart. I ain't got to do too much. I got to do just enough to get this win. And if I have to do a little bit more, I will do my darnest too. He lost in the Super Bowl. That is on his resume. He played fantastic, but he did have the fumble. I thought he played great, but he had a bad moment. Those are his 3 losses. So I'm not glossing over, he didn't do much in the wins, but then highlighting the L's. The man's 3-3 in the playoffs now? How many quarterbacks in the NFL right now around his age got a better record? How many quarterbacks is 50% right now?
See, this is my gripe with that. Sorry to cut you off. You finished?
Oh, no, I was done.
This is my gripe with that. You highlight that Hurts was injured, that Hurts was a 7 seed, that Hurts thrown into this player, Hurts thrown into that player, that he has a disadvantage. You take out Hurts to every playoff team y'all beat. Take out Hurts and take out the other quarterback. Y'all clearly smoking at every team except for the 49ers, who quarterback actually got hurt.
That's not his fault, Joe.
But you naming all the stuff that's stacked against you. That's you name. I'm just letting you know that y'all keep saying if Hurts got to do it, he's gonna do it for you. Name one time in the playoffs when Hurts was asked, "Yo, y'all gotta carry us to a victory," and he did it. He has never done it in the playoffs, never. And when he was asked to do it, he didn't accomplish it. Those 3 losses that you have, all 3 teams scored 30 plus, and he could not match it. Like you keep telling me that he could. I'm just saying, you told me he can do it. He hasn't done it. The only time he's won is when his team allowed 10 or less points. Only time he's won. I want to see Hurts win. Like I keep saying, he does what it takes to win. Well, what I've seen, when people put up points on the Eagles in the playoffs, Hurts don't match it. Okay. Hurts don't. And there's always a caveat. Oh, he was a baby. Okay, what about last year when he went to the Super Bowl and came out the next year? Oh, we didn't have A.J. Brown, we was in the fun. Ain't he the leader? I mean, that's on my check. And he get all this credit for the man. This dude focused. This dude locked in. He the leader. So why he don't get no blame for the funk? So he's a problem too. Last year, I'm not saying you didn't say that. I'm just saying that we can't use that as an excuse on why he lost because he's the quarterback. So
yes or no question.
Okay.
Is he the reason why they lost the Super Bowl? Honesty. We live on air.
No.
Okay.
He's not the main reason. He's not.
Is he the? I'm asking. Is he because
defense could have been better?
Because we know the reason why the Packers lost, right? This weekend, we know that, right? We could pinpoint Jordan.
He only put up 10 points.
We can look at the Chargers. We know why they lost, right?
Yeah, I get you.
We could look at the Vikings and say we know why they lost, right?
Yeah,
So
I
my
get you,
thing.
yeah.
So my thing is, while I understand what you're saying, shout out to Cortez, my dog. I get where you coming from. In the games that he's won, he has not been put in position to where he's had to carry the team. He's been in position to game manage, and he has game managed successfully. All I'm saying is there's some quarterbacks in the playoffs that don't even do that. So I'm not about to take away from the wins because he game managed through wins, but at the same time, big upping the L's because he wasn't able to match. Of course, we can say Lamar Jackson is a great rusher. No, he don't rush for 100 yards every game. Does that mean he's not a great rusher? We can say Jalen Hurts is a winner. Does that mean he has to win every game? No, that's not. That's what it seemed like. It seems like because you say when he needs to make the play or he needs to make something happen, right? He makes it happen. But these few instances in the playoffs where he had to do something, he wasn't able to do it. And it's like, bro, nobody has a perfect playoff resume. Everybody has moments in the playoffs where they don't play well, but more times than not, in my opinion, because I know it's 3 for 3 right now. We got a lot more football left to go. Trust me, Eagles fans, when I say we got a lot more football left to go, right? More times than not, when I watch Jalen Hurts, I see a quarterback that he's going to get it done when he absolutely has to get it done. It might not be pretty. They might not be attractive, but I'd rather take that over somebody who's going to put up these numbers and not get the job done. That's all I'm getting at. But any of the quarterbacks I mentioned, my bad, Joe, any of the other quarterbacks that I mentioned in the first Tampa game, in the second Tampa game, and in the Super Bowl, because Pat don't lose in the Super Bowl unless he ain't got no offensive line. Ain't too many quarterbacks in that position winning those games. And that's the truth. Ain't too many people taking down Brady with that team in Tampa coming off a Super Bowl. It's not happening. Ain't too many quarterbacks coming out there with a dislocated finger without their number one receiver going up against Tampa Bay and winning that game last year either. I don't see it, bro. I don't see it.
That couldn't put up more than 9 points, bro.
But look,
y'all put up 9 points. It's not like it was competitive. Y'all got blown out.
I mean, but look. Okay, last thing. You say the 9 points rebuttal is not fair because then it's a loss is a loss. He put up 30-something in the Super Bowl and lost.
No. I wouldn't be killing you. I got you on that. This is my issue. What's the question at hand? The question is, should the Eagle fans be concerned with the offense? And you said no, because Hurts, if he needs to do it, he would do it. And I'm telling you, in the playoffs, we haven't seen it.
I said I didn't just pinpoint Hurts. I also brought up Saquon. The offense, I'm not concerned about. I'm not really concerned about Hurts either, but I made sure to lead it with every time they have needed to score big time points this season, it's what they've done. Whether it's Hurts having a day like how he did against Pittsburgh, or whether it's Saquon rushing for 255 yards the last time we saw the Rams. Whenever this offense needs the ball, they ball. That's all I'm saying.
If you say, Joe, listen, man, the past, I know Hurts hasn't come through when he needed to come through as far as the scoring part and winning the game. But we got Saquon. So I feel better. We got Saquon this year. I feel a lot better that Hurts going to get it done this year because we got Saquon. Then that makes sense.
I'll do you one better. We got AJ Brown.
Okay.
That takes a lot of concern.
You got some help.
We got AJ Brown. We got a number one receiver. Ain't too many quarterbacks winning playoff games without their number one. It's the truth. We've only lost one playoff game with AJ Brown, and that was the Super Bowl.
I mean, Smitty at number one technically, but
he don't garner the same.
Smitty nice,
AJ.
bro.
But Smitty Cole, you know, I ain't gonna take away from Smitty. I ain't gonna take away from Smitty. Yeah, you trying to trick me to take it away.
I mean, some people tell me he better than McLaurin. I mean, I heard that plenty of times over the last couple of seasons.
And Hurts is not Lamar. Hurts ain't Lamar. I've already said Lamar better. So credit to Lamar. I ain't never the one to say Hurts is better than Lamar. So there are certain Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying he better than those guys. Just putting it like that. But let's move on, Joe. Let's move on. We spent a lot of time on that topic, man. I didn't know that was
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I didn't know that was going to turn into the debate that it turned into. And once we started, it's like, oh, no. We got to go. Joe, the Commanders went out there and also got a dub in Jaden Daniels' debut playoff game. In spectacular fashion, very similar to a lot of the regular season games this year. So, Joe, I got to ask you, man, because a lot of people look at that game and they say, even though the Commanders lost, man, the Bucs made some costly mistakes in that game. That cost them the game. So I got to ask you, Joe, did the Bucs lose that game? Or did y'all go take it? Did y'all go win the game?
All right, you asked me a question when you started your segment, right? Man.
I like that.
Do it look like we didn't win the game?
It looked like y'all got that game. It looked like y'all got a dub, man.
We got it done. D-O-N-E, done. We won. We took it. We went. That's my check. We went in Tampa Bay. We went in their house and took everything out their kitchen and said, you know what? Empty it out. I want it now. But back to the top of the hand. See, there's a little hat right here. But let's go.
I did get a little hot. I got a little hot.
Shout out to AJ. He got the flag. I had to throw that. Shout out to my mom for buying me that too. Shout out to your mom. But first I want to give props to my head coach, Dan Quinn. Sticking to your guns. I hear people in the chat, people in the world. Oh, why are you going for it? This is who we are, AJ. We go for it on fourth down 87% of the time, bro. That's number one in the NFL. Why are we not going to go for it? It's a playoffs. It's all or nothing. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose my way. I'm not going to lose the other way. I'm not going to sit here and live with regrets. Let me lose the way we've been playing this whole season. We got 12 wins playing this way, AJ. 12 wins, bro. Come on now. So shout out to him for continuing to be aggressive. Props to the defense. Now look, Marshall Lattimore, bro. I mean, I'm hoping the hammy still hurting. I'm hoping it's hurting because you was getting cooked, bro. Like, you my guy. I'm assuming you just rusty. But Mike Evans was giving it to you, bro. Every time they threw it to him and you were on him, it was either pass interference or he caught it. Not one time, AJ, he got a deflection. Not one time. He got cooked every time. Yeah, so that was. I had to submit. Yeah, y'all in the chat. He getting cooked. I was like, yeah, man, he is. Like, I mean, I can't fight it. At least against AJ Brown, he got a few deflections while getting cooked. But this time, against the guy you've been shutting down the last 3 to 4 years, man, it's crazy. But the defense was heads up. That shows you that we were ready for the moment. When Baker fumbled, we were heads up ready. When they snapped it, delayed, we were heads up. We were ready. So shout out to the defense for making the play when it counted. But we all know, AJ, while we won this game, we all know. Now look, I know you talked about your quarterback. It was a lot of rainy days in that game, but it was a lot of sunshine where my guy was at. A lot of sunshine. You know why we won that game? Because we got the greatest rookie in NFL history. I keep telling everybody. I'm hearing people on the major networks asking, is this the greatest rookie season we've seen? AJ, I've been saying this is a Titans game. I've been saying this for a minute. I need residuals for anybody who says that. It's like, all right. And look, first of all, we did win that game. We did because the play before the fumble, it was a pass interference on fourth down. They didn't call it. It's a no call. They didn't call it. The expert referee came on the next drive and literally came on the broadcast and said, yeah, that was a pass interference. That should have been called. And then Baker fumbled. Thank you, Baker, for making up for the pass interference call. So, and then even if he didn't fumble, we got who my quarterback? As long as I got JD5, bro, I'm alive. How many times he's been a clutchest player in the NFL this year? He has. Mahomes, the Chiefs, they've been clutch as a team. JD5 has been clutch all year. Shout out to Marcus Mariota, too. Tom, I know you're still hurting all that game. But anyways, the experts confirm it. We still win that game, man. That's how I look at it. First playoff game on the road against the team that smoked Jalen Hurts. Sorry, AJ. Smoked Jalen Hurts the year prior. Man, y'all should have been here last week. AJ was like, hey, Joe, Todd Bowles know how to do these running quarterbacks, man. He only a rookie. I'm like, AJ, he different. He's different. He's not your ordinary rookie. Every time you bring up rookie, separate him from that category. Put him with the best. Put him with the best. He's not like the other guys over there. Bo Nix. No. Like, come on now. I mean, J.A. McCarthy on the bench ain't even play this year. Like, come on, man. Caleb Williams. I'm sorry, you from PG County. Shout out to PG County. No. Jaden Daniels is different. Man, listen, AJ. They couldn't stop us. We drove down the field every single time. They could not stop us, really. Like we were moving the ball with ease. It looked like I was playing the Giants in week 2. I mean, we could just going down the field constantly against this Todd Bowles defense. Oh, these exotic blitz. Oh, you want to do a blitz? Terry! Look out, Terry! Oh, man, I was in that house, man. Like I told you, I stayed up and watched the game. I was in that thing, like, doing somersaults. I was doing cartwheels. I was going crazy in that house. So, look, do you know that we went through that whole game? You know this because you saw it everywhere. We all did. We went through that whole game with no punts and no turnover. That's the third time we've done that this year. No other QB has done that this year. Nobody. There has never been a rookie who's done it 3 times like my guy did. And do you know that Peyton Manning is the only QB who's done it in the playoffs? My dude did it in his first game. Like, come on now. Imagine that. Imagine that. He is like this amazing everybody. Like, every time I say something, he just put me more right. And then he just make me look dumb. Because what I think is even better. It's crazy. Right? On third down, 8 for 15. In the playoffs, on the road. That's tight. On fourth down, 3 for 5. That's pretty decent. And I don't know if you know this one right here. We are the first team since 1991 to go for it on fourth down 5 times in the playoffs and actually win. We're the only team that done that since 1991, bro. Only team. Y'all actually in there somewhere in one of them years. The Eagles are. Y'all actually. Teams were only been done 8 times, AJ, since 1991. We did it and won. So we make that stat 1 and 8. Shout out to us, right? You know? So I did have some clips, but I actually got it, AJ. I'm gonna blame one person. All right. I'm gonna blame one person, all right? All right. This guy right here. Oh, I got it. Oh man, I should have prepared this before I got on the show. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh man, where is that? All right, I got some clips for you. I'm gonna blame a guy for a reason why we actually won this game. Cause my man JD was cool, calm. We was getting stopped on fourth down, and this Kalijah Cansey stopped talking. I don't know if you caught that. When I didn't even catch. Look, AJ, when I watched the game live, I didn't even catch it, bro. And then when I rewatched the game, I'm like, oh, this man was chirping.
Yeah,
he was chirping, and then okay, all right. Watch this, then. Look at this, AJ. I think this is right here. Wait, this is third down right here. Oh, let me move it back. That was fourth down?
Yeah, fourth down.
All right, this, I'm gonna put a third down first. Now look at this. Look at this. People at home, watch this. All right, second down. All right, this is second. Do they know what he's doing that to? Last drive of the game. When the Buccaneers kicked the field goal in title 2020, I already knew it was up. I already knew he was gonna win. I wasn't worried. And then what happened? Third and 1, 3rd and 2. We need one more. And guess who was there trying to get JD in the backfield? The same dude couldn't catch my guy. Look, and then he carried the towel the whole way. Why he didn't drop it? He literally ran with the towel the whole play. So all I know is this dude different, man. I'm almost done, AJ. I know I'm rapping too much.
No, you good. You good.
All right. So look, he won that game, right? He won that game. Now, this is an amazing stat. People try to poo-poo on the stat. All right. It's our first playoff win in 19 years. The first rookie to win a playoff game on the road since 2012. And there's only been 3 other rookies. We all know the stat. There's only been 3 other rookies who won a playoff game on the road. That's Russell Wilson, Mark Sanchez, and Joe Flacco. People in the chat, especially, wow, elite company. And I'm thinking like, yo, do you understand what that stat means? Do you understand what that stat means? The reason why they won those games, AJ, it wasn't because of them. They got drafted so late in the draft They already had a team built for them. AJ, do you know when they won those playoff games? Russell Wilson, Mark Sanchez, all of them, right? The Seahawks were their defense 4th in yards allowed per game, 1st in points. The Jets 1st in yards per game, 1st in points. The Ravens 2nd in yards per game, 3rd in points. Commanders, guess what? 13 in yards, 18 in points. Because guys that get drafted that high go to bad teams, so they don't win playoff games. It don't happen. JD5 is the only rookie of the year to ever win a playoff game on the road. That's a good stat for y'all, right? I know I tried to poop on my stat in the chat. I had the wrong stat. That's a good one, right? The only rookie of the year to win a road game in the playoffs. How about that? And he did it with no punts and no interceptions. Some of the greatest rookie of all time to me. And I'm gonna wrap it right here, AJ. When we beat the Titans, we went on a 3-game losing streak. And I came on, you kind of like doubled down on it, and we both were saying like, yo, when the running game not going, we ain't the same. That's what we were saying, right? Since that Titans game, because we went crazy. Since that Titans game, on the games that I'm not gonna count the Cowboys game because he didn't really play that game. Since JD played, first of all, last night our running backs accounted for 44 yards, which is 2.4 yards per carry. Jaden Daniels had 36 by himself. He was our leading scorer. Leading rusher. But in the 4 games after that Titans game, including this playoff game, the running back has accounted for 59.5 yards per game. Jaden Daniels, 77.5. And we haven't lost. So, in the very final words, I'm going to say, is what my guy said. It's what I like about him the most. They asked that man, yo, how are you so calm? How are you so poised? You only a rookie. What's up? My man said, trust in the Lord God. There's nothing I should worry about. I put all my worries on him. He'll take care of the rest. Listen, man. As long as I got JD5, bro, I'm alive. Floor is yours.
Now you say, hey, that's the flow right there. What else can I add? I wanna quickly address something before I say what I gotta say. Just want to quickly address a comment real quick in the comment section. The Eagles got to get it done this year. All the pressure is on them to win the NFC. This is coming from a Ravens fan. It's coming from a Ravens fan. And I just want to say, I know everybody wants to put all the pressure on Philadelphia to get it done. They're not the only team in the NFL with some pressure, though. Oh, Josh Allen got a whole lot of pressure on him. Oh, Lamar Jackson missed a 3-time possibly MVP. The guy who had the number 1 defense in the league and also smoked the game. Joe couldn't even game manage properly, like I brought up before, against the Kansas City Chiefs as his defense balled out in the second half. If you remember, Patrick Mahomes couldn't do nothing. And somebody was out there turning the ball over. Right? I'm just saying, because we crapping on game managing in the playoffs. I'm just saying, just want to point that out. Now he got Derrick Henry, a defense that's playing like the number 1 defense in the league to end the season, right? You're going up against Buffalo. You're going to have to see Pat most likely after that. Y'all going to have to show up too. Y'all got pressure on y'all too. Let's see if we meet each other in the Super Bowl. That's all I'm going to say. I'm starting to feel like one team going to make it and the other team not. I'll let y'all fill in the blanks on that one. Now, when it comes to the Commanders, I'm going to give credit where it's due, bro. I watched that game twice. The first time I watched it, I said, bro, you can't have these type of moments. The defense gets to stop, like you brought up, where Canty went and patted Jaden Daniels' head. And then the very next drive, y'all messing up a handoff. Putting him right back in the same situation he was in to score a touchdown. You can't do that. They score a touchdown. I think either the next possession or the possession after that, you get the ball all the way down near the red zone and you mess up a handoff or a snap. You mess up a snap. The center snaps the ball too quickly and it blows the 3rd down. Now I believe you have to kick the field goal on 4th down. Like, it's moments like that that lead one to believe when you're watching live. If you're not a Commanders fan, y'all smoke the game. You can't have moments like that. But I'm consistent. I love winners, bro. And if it's one thing Jaden Daniels has shown me this season, at least for this season, because I do want to see it for a long period of time, the man is a winner. And when you're going up against winners, You can't have moments like that. In the Eagles game, Devontae Smith, after we get that turnover, you have to catch the ball to ice the game. If you get a ball back to him, he's gonna score. That's just how it is. Chicago Bears, this is a Hail Mary situation. Knock the ball down, or guess what? It's going to be a touchdown. Falcons, y'all got a great lead at halftime. Don't let it get close. Score a touchdown when you need it. Don't get a ball back to Jaden. For goodness sakes, we all know tails never fails. Call tails for overtime. You call heads. You can't make that time a mistake. You get a ball back to Jaden. Guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? He's going to score a touchdown. It's even to the point now where you got Marcus Mariota coming in, scoring game-winning touchdowns. It's some weird, I don't want to use the word magic, but for lack of a better term, it's some magic going on with the Commanders right now. It's like y'all are finding ways to win in the clutchest ways down the stretch. And it's game after game after game. So while I want to be a hater and say the Bucs blew the game, because there is a side of me watching that game that says, bro, you can't make – these aren't the type of mistakes that a defense created. It's one thing if a defense, right, creates a turnover. They force a fumble. They force an interception, a sack for a fumble that's returned for a touchdown like we just saw the other night in the Vikings and Rams game. That's one thing. It's another thing to botch a handoff or to botch a snap. The hater in me, because I'm an Eagles fan, want to be like, yo, the Bucs should have won that game. Y'all smoked the game. But at the end of the day, the real one in me says, AJ, you can't do that because you like winners, bro. And Buddy winning at a high level, bro. And you got to give respect where it's due. The man winning at a high level. And so I'm not going to say the Buccaneers lost the game. I know a percentage of people will say the Buccaneers lost the game. I'm going to give more credit to Jaden Daniels and the Commanders for coming out on top and winning the games, because at the end of the day, you still got to make the plays that matter when it's necessary. And again, they came out of the gate aggressive. Tampa Bay came out. They looked good on offense. They scored a field goal on like the first or second play. Bomb to Terry McLaurin. I'm like, oh, these boys ready. No, they here. They coming to play. They're not playing. Multiple fourth downs to start the game. We going for it. Now we going for it. Now we going for it again. Now we failed last. We going for it again. We don't care. Like, they played to win the game. And at the end of the day, Tampa Bay made enough mistakes. Even though a lot of them were self-inflicted, they made mistakes, left Jaden Daniels in the game, and Jaden Daniels got it done. So y'all won the game. And listen, like I said, I'm a real one. If I'm Detroit, I ain't just looking past these brothers right now. I'm just not with the way they playing. Now we're gonna get to the predictions in a second. But if I'm Detroit, I ain't just looking past these boys right now. I ain't just looking like, yeah, we finna smoke them. Bro, y'all gonna have to. It's weird when you going up against a team when they got momentum like this, where it's like they can't do anytime they need something to bounce in their favor, it's gonna bounce in their favor. Like, it's like, yo, what's going on? Like, all right, they just turned the ball over. We good. Oh, somebody dropped the pass. Now Jaden Daniels about to get the ball back. Like, bro, what's going on? So they better be on their P's and Q's, bro, because he gonna run all over the place. He going to make it real difficult for a defense that's so injury-riddled that I don't believe in. And just like normal, Lions going to have to score some points. And they're going to have to score some points in bunches. And the defense actually playing pretty well too. So credit to y'all, man. Credit to y'all. And I know some people, they don't know how to give credit. So they say stuff like, AJ sound nervous and stuff like that. I'm just a realist, bro. I like to be honest, especially on air. There's a time and a place for trolling. This ain't the time. I like to keep it 100 when I'm in front of the people, because that's what the people deserve. For me to be 100. You know what I mean? So that's my take, man. Y'all did y'all thing, and I give y'all credit for it. Y'all beat a team that just beat us last year, man. How could I not give y'all credit? You know what I mean?
Let's get it, man. All right, let's get to the pick'ems, man. We got the playoff divisional round pick'ems. Now, we don't have the graphic for y'all this time. We're going to just pick them. All right? And you're going to kick it off on this one. We got our first game, Texas versus Chiefs. Who you got?
Texans versus Chiefs. I got the Chiefs, man. I mean, the Texans, I feel like they kind of waltzed into a win because, you know, the boy Herbert was Herbert. The boy Herbert was Herbert. So I got the Chiefs winning it relatively handily. They're rested coming into this game. Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes in this matchup. I trust the Chiefs defense against that offense. We saw this matchup earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. They smoked them boys. So I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs. Like you said, the Texans won because CJ made plays. Justin Herbert didn't make plays. Mahomes, this is a playoffs, baby. He gonna make plays. Boy just had a child. I don't know if it was a boy or girl. A child too? Oh, he about to be turned up, AJ. I got the Chiefs winning big.
Okay. Big. What's the next one? Let me get it pulled up real quick.
Commanders and Lions.
Oh, yeah. We got the Commanders and the Lions. Joe, pitching it to you. Who you got in this matchup? I think the people know where you're going with it, but who you got in this matchup? You got your Commanders or you got Detroit?
I got us. No, for real though. Like, if I wasn't a fan of this team, the only reason why I would lean towards Detroit is because they are the better team. But Jaden Daniels would scare me. He really would. The last time I saw Detroit play against a mobile quarterback, he smoked them. Josh Allen. Now, I'm not saying my guy is Josh Allen. I mean, he probably more poised. I mean, y'all ours ain't do nothing in the playoffs. I mean, he keep losing to Mahomes. I get him that. But I'm not going to go that far.
We're going into some wild territory now. We're going into some wild territory now.
But Daniel, you know what we're going to see? Daniel was in the lion den. What happened in that story, AJ? What happened? He walked out of that den with no scratch. They bowed down to him. And that's what's going to happen on Saturday. We're going to roll up to Detroit. See, here's the key. Detroit defense is suspect. This ain't Sam Darnold. I don't get it twisted. My man head not going to be on the swivel nervous seeing ghosts. He going to be poised and ready to play. Detroit's going to put up points. We going to put up points. Here's what us, though, AJ. We going to burn our clock. We going to burn our clock. We going to keep that Detroit offense on the sideline. We going to get it all the way outfield. We going to be aggressive just like Detroit. So what I see is this is a good opportunity for Aaron Glenn because Aaron Glenn looking for a coaching job. If he can do a good job with Jan Daniels, that would up his stock. But it ain't happening. All right, the defense, I'm a little worried. All I ask defense to do, force some turnovers. Force a turnover too. Or force a field goal. Don't allow a touchdown every drive. And we got the rest. Offense, we got the rest. We got the rest. So I'm going with us, bro. And my score, I got my score right here too.
Okay.
38-35. And we going to end the game with the lead. They're going to score, but we're going to already have the lead, and we're going to burn our clock out. Nil. We in on the nil. Upset.
Joe, I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. Because if the NFC Championship coming through Philly, pencil us in for that Super Bowl. So I hope you're right, but I doubt it, bro. Detroit, 15-2, been balling all season now. Offense has been ridiculous. The defense looks solid. You know, I know that Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold, but the defense did go out there and play well. And when you have a season as great as the Lions have just had, I cannot see them losing in a divisional round. I can't see it. Now, granted, I picked the Bucs to win last round, so you never know. I do think this game is going to be close, but I feel like at some point it's going to come down to Jaden Daniels winning the game, and he won't be able to because he's done it so many times. Or better yet, in all of these games where he's had these comeback victories and these big-time moments, like I said before, teams have had the opportunity to slam the door, and they just failed to do so because somebody dropped the pass or somebody couldn't knock down a Hail Mary or, you know, somebody botching snaps or stuff like that. Not to take away from the Commanders, but I'm just saying these teams have had big-time opportunities to just slam the door shut, bro. Winning teams know how to slam the door shut. I view the Lions right now as a winning team again, 15 wins. So I got Detroit coming away with this win. I see Detroit winning, I'd say 30-24. Okay. And I see it in reverse. I see Jaden Daniels and them coming from behind, him making a run similar to what I said about the Tampa game. They need the defense to go out there and get a stop, and they can't get the Lions off the field. That's what I foresee. Yep. That's what I foresee.
All right, we shall see. We shall see. But the next game we got y'all on the schedule. Rams rolling into the link and playing Philly. Who winning?
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Like I said before, man, you got to be crazy in the head if you think anybody coming into the link winning a playoff game this year. It is not happening. Whether it be the defense dominating, the offense dominating, we're going to find a way to win at the end of the day. Respect to the Rams. The Rams cannot see us. The last time we saw the Rams, I saw Saquon run for 255. Now, he might not run for 255 again, but he probably at least run for 150, 170. So around in there, right? I also saw Jalen Hurts before Saquon took over in the second half, also having a day. Jalen Hurts is undefeated against the Rams. He's seen them twice in his career, last year and this year. He has outplayed Stafford both times he's seen him. In the game we just played against those boys, Devontae Smith didn't even play, and we dropped 37 points. Our second best receiving option didn't even play, and Hurts had a day, Saquon had a day, the defense ball, and we had 37 points. And everybody looking at this offense like it's some high-powered offense. Joe, say it with me. It's the names. It's the names, Joe. I know they got Stafford and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. We understand it, but this team ain't no juggernaut on offense. This team ain't out there averaging 30 points a game. This team putting up somewhere around between 18 and 20 points a game, even when they're fully healthy. And at the end of the day, that ain't going to be enough against the offense that everybody talking about right now. And it's the part I didn't touch on that I love most. Whenever you get to talking about Hurts in this offense, we show up that next day. Oh, now y'all talking about us. Oh, now this. Oh, now that. Okay. Watch this offense explode. Watch this defense to continue to create turnovers and watch us smoke these boys the same way we smoked them before, bro. 35-17.
Jeez. I'm going with y'all too, though. I feel like the type of defense y'all have, it would cause. I mean, I'm not going. The fact that Matthew Stafford isn't mobile is a big problem for me against his defense because y'all can get home with 4. Defensively, I do think the Rams will do a good job on y'all. I don't think y'all going to blow them out 35-17. I think it'll be a little much closer. And, yeah, y'all had their number in the regular season. Jalen Hurts also got Tampa Bay number. No, he don't. I'm sorry. Y'all lost him this year. Last year, y'all beat Tampa Bay, though. But yeah, so but I'm gonna go with y'all though. Like y'all the better team. I have no reason to pick the Rams unless it's off the emotion of the fire that's going on in California. But outside of that, I'm going with y'all.
Hey, we are all seriousness saying prayers for everybody in LA. Hope everybody in LA find shelter and things of that nature. By the end of this game, we're gonna be praying for the Rams too. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to because we gonna take them out, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be. As soon as I saw when the Rams got that fumble recovery and returned it for a touchdown, I looked at my wife and I said, "Pencil us in for the NFC Championship game." She said, "What's that?" I said, "Me penciling us in for the NFC Championship." That's what that is. That's what that is. All right,
my man, confident.
Oh, very, very, very. Last game of the divisional round, man. Last game of the weekend. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. Joe, who you got?
What I like about what the Bills and the Baltimore Ravens did in the wild card game, both of them made an emphasis on we're gonna run the ball. Mm-hmm. We gonna run the ball. Both of them ran the ball 40 plus times. Shout out to them. But hey, I'm going with Baltimore. Baltimore was my Super Bowl pick. I think Baltimore has a better team. I think Baltimore has a better quarterback. I think Lamar. I think Lamar is Mahomes and is Lamar. And you put Lamar with Derrick Henry. Goodbye, Ram. I'm sorry. So it's gonna be a problem. I got the Ravens winning by 10 plus. Also, I don't think it's gonna be like a down the wire type game. I think the Ravens gonna win by double digits. Give me the Ravens. Give me Lamar, Derrick Henry, and the Ravens.
I'm not gonna lie. I think this game is gonna be very close. I think this game is going to be very close, and I think Josh Allen is gonna have a day. I think Josh Allen is going to have a day. I think this is going to turn into one of those games where, like, we going to talk about years later. Like, yo, remember when Lamar and Josh lined up in the playoffs this time around and they just went at it? Like, that's how I'm viewing this game. I think ultimately, bro, this is going to be the best game of the weekend. This is the game that, like, I'm glad our game is before so I could get our game out of the way and I could really just sit back and watch this one because this is must-see TV. And in all honesty, I don't think this is going to answer who's the MVP, but I think both quarterbacks are going to be looking to make a statement in this game. Obviously, it's the playoffs. You want to play well, but it's a little extra juice on it because of the MVP conversation, which is why I believe both quarterbacks will stand up and play well. And as much as I don't want to be that guy, because we got Ravens fans on different type of time. Again, I'm a realist. I'm going to be real and go with what I really feel. I think the Ravens find a way to get it done at the last second. I think Lamar finds a way to move them down the field at the last second and score either a touchdown or field goal to win the game. But I think it's going to take that because I don't think Josh is going to come out there and play like a scrub whatsoever, especially at home. It'd be one thing if he had to roll into Baltimore. This matchup at home for him, I think they're going to be ready to play, bro. I think they're going to be ready to play, but I do think the Ravens are the better team. I think they're the better team.
And their defense playing real good. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think that when the final score hits, it's going to be a 10-point lead. I do think the Ravens going to beat up most of the game, though. I think Josh Allen going to struggle.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he'll have a bad game, but I think he will struggle. Yeah,
bro, I think they both throwing for like anywhere between 250 to 300, 4 touchdowns between. I think both of them going ball. I really do.
Because even the Denver game, they bullied Denver by running the ball. I don't think they're gonna be able to do that against Baltimore, bro.
And that's gonna require Josh. That's gonna require Josh to do more. But I feel like in this matchup he can, bro. Bro, they're gonna have a hard time dealing. What it's gonna be, bro? They're gonna have a hard time dealing with his legs, bro. They're gonna have a hard time getting him to the ground, dealing with his mobility, bro.
I just think it's one of those games that we expected to be the best game of the weekend, and it will turn out to be. I think our game would be more entertaining. Tell you the truth,
y'all game will be entertaining. Y'all probably the second. Yeah, I would say
there's gonna be a lot of offense. Game. That's why I think it'll be a lot of offense in our game because you know the defenses obviously.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that.
But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We both still in the race, so. I'm excited.
That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun, man. I would say I hope my boy Jalen give you a moment where he gotta come through and win the day. But I just want to say, man, however we win, if we blow cats out all the way to the Super Bowl, blow them out. I don't care. Get that ring. I don't care nothing about all that other stuff. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. I had to sneak that last little shot in there. I just had to, Joe. I had to.
Hey, listen, I got both of us making to the next round, so I see you when I see you.
That sounds good to me. All right? That sounds good to me.
And you will have your full arsenal this time. So that's what I worry about.
Yes, sir.
But we got to get past Detroit first. Now, look, appreciate y'all for staying to the end. My last words is R. Shout out to the R2L Network. Shout out to the R2L family, man. Become a member and join our chats, man. We had conversations like this all week leading up to the show. You know what I mean? Right? A lot of the side shots you hear me and AJ do during the show, if you in the chat, you know what we talking about. All right? Shout out to my Kings. You see my Kings lately?
They've been balling.
7-game win streak. Beat Boston without De'Aaron Fox. I mean, we on the road right now. Shout out to Doug Christie and Christie we trust. All right. My Commanders, y'all said a lot about y'all already. Shout out to all the viewers. Shout out to everybody that's watching right now that's been here from start to finish. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to you, AJ, my partner. And we're gonna grow this thing, y'all. I'm excited. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody from R2L that's watching right now. A shout out to my people on my channel that's paying attention, that's watching. We appreciate all the love and support, man. Like I said, both of our teams are alive, you know what I mean, in this playoff. So that adds extra sauce to every episode, y'all. See, make sure y'all continue to show us love and support on social media and everything like that. Lakers, listen, man, y'all have y'all moments. It is what it is. We'll get to y'all when it's time to get to y'all. Birds. Listen, bro. NFC Championship. Philly goes to Detroit. And it's the matchup we all been waiting on all year. It's written. It's already written. It's already written. But first, let's take care of the light work. No disrespect to the Rams. Let's take care of the light work. Let's get them up out the way. Let's come out. Let's have a great performance on both sides of the ball, and let's move on, y'all. Like this is what we waited on. This time of the year is what we waited on. Let's come out here. Let's do our thing. And let's move forward and keep flying, man. One game away from the NFC Championship. Who would have thought, Joe? After the collapse last year, everybody wanted to talk about it all the time. And, oh, my gosh, can they recover? And, oh, my gosh, I don't know if Saquon Barkley's going to make a difference. Oh, my gosh, is Hurts going to blow it? Oh, my gosh, Nick Sirianni is blowing up in the fans' faces after the Browns game. Oh, my gosh, this, that, third. A.J. Brown reading the book. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe the man reads. One game away from the NFC Championship game. Let's get it done. And maybe we'll see y'all there. Maybe we won't, Joe. But I do believe it's already written. Philadelphia goes to Detroit for the NFC Championship, and the winner will advance to the Super Bowl. I'm just curious to see what happens over there in the AFC. But all in all, Joe, it's been fun. It's been a pleasure. And as always, like always, we remain unfazed.
Unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.